Today we have Vaibhav Kumarish, a renowned animator, and he is running Vaibhav Studios. His film Return of the Jungle is being screened at Cannes Market. So it's a proud moment for Indian animation industry as well. Welcome, Vaibhav.
Thank you, Ashish. Thank you so much.
So I'm really honored that I could watch. Really, I was fortunate to watch the film at IFI Goa last year.
Right. No, and I was pleasantly surprised to see you there, and thank you again for being there for the screening for the premiere.
The premiere was so topmost on our minds. Apart from that, more than films, making the film I feel is half the job. The, the other half is what we are here for.
Let's forget about the moral values, but the quality of the content is very impressive, and that is one of the reasons why we feel so proud that this being screened, even though this is part of the market screen, but film market screen, but then it's a proud moment. How do you feel when this is being selected for that?
No, so for me, the bigger honor is that your country chooses you to because it's purely courtesy of the INB ministry and the NFDC. It's they who are taking an Indian delegation to Cannes. And the fact that they've chosen us and they are the ones who have paid for the screening, so they are facilitating us so that our films get visibility and hopefully buyers. So that way, no doubt, it's a very big honor. And I I'm sure you remember that Ms. Neerja Shekhar, she was there during the screening, the premiere at IFI Goa.
Locally भी and across villages also. Yes. Within India, बच्चों को दिखाने के लिए वो भी.
What we wanted
In
is
both ways. Both are
once you
important.
get a screening, you'll get an idea of why it's not a cult, why it's mainstream, and why we want it to be viewed as a mainstream.
Yes. So lively, totally engaging. So
Colors, beautiful
detailed.
come out.
Colors,
Not
3D,
terrible.
totally very detailed. Yes. Thank you for this. And congratulations. Very well done. Very well done.
And she, at the end of the film, she was very happy to see it, and she had told us also. I think you were there, during that conversation also. She'd said that we should not only take it to, smaller towns and within India, but we should take it outside of India as well. And I believe she is the one instrumental in this. She's the one who is like pitched for Return of the Jungle, saying that they should definitely, and that's how when NFDC had called for the entry, so we also had submitted it. So the fact that we also got selected, and there are five films in all, and ours is the only animation film. So that way, it feels like really even more, even better, even more honored to be part of that little group, and that support we are getting. It's like I'm like very grateful for that.
So now, Vaibhav Studios is in its 21st year of existence. So, like I know, it's not easy, especially at that time, early 2000 was not an easy time to establish a animation company. Of course, you were doing commercials as well, but then could you please rewind and see how well you established this company, how what were struggles you had?
So it was purely an overnight decision. That Suresh and I, we were working together at Famous Studios. So there was this film. It was a short children's film that I wanted to be a part of. And being at Famous, I could not work on this film. And Famous, for some reason, had not taken up that project. They had rejected that project because I think it was not feasible, low budget or something. But I was very keen ki I want to work on longer format stories. So I think this Return of the Jungle is basically that wish list had started long back, to tell longer stories. Because at Famous, at best, we were producing a lot of commercials. So 30-seconders, 1-minuters, shorts, okay, channel idents. Even now, our bread and butter is that, no doubt. But there's a larger desire, that you wish to tell stories of different nature. Like say 30 seconds allow you to tell a story a certain way. It's like your 100-meter sprint. When you run a 100-meter sprint, your approach is very different. And you get a different excitement out of that. But if you have to do, say, a marathon, Then you can't run like 100-meter sprint. No, you have to pace your innings very differently, and that is a different height. The marathon is a very different challenge. So for us, the feature film is like that. We are learning. We've done enough of 100-meter sprints, but our heart was we want to try that marathon. More than that, like it's a story that was in my head. I was very excited with it, and I was finding out ways to tell it, bring it out. So quitting Famous was an instant overnight decision. I'd never ever thought that we would have our own company, because we were very happy at Famous. It was like an extension of student life. We used to come up with our own concepts. We used to pitch it to clients. They would pay for us to make those films, and we had so much fun. We introduced clay animation in a formal way, and so many mediums. And like say, Simpu was born there, and it had a huge fan following. Even now, after the death of Channel V, the character still remains alive on the internet. So many good things. We were having fun, but somehow this was something I could not work on being part of Famous. So I had to take on I wouldn't say it was a difficult decision. It was a very easy decision because I was very clear that this is what I want to do. So even today, I feel very happy because that's like one of the most happiest decisions. And it might be the most stupid or the most risky decision of my life ever. But that was the most fun decision because all of this has happened thanks to that. So overnight, when you decided, okay, we are going to be on our own and we'll make the films that we want to make. And then money came, clients came, our bread and butter projects happen even now. But what I'm happy with is that we fund the studio through our own IP. At least 75% of our income comes through our own IP. Like say Simpu, or the shorts that we create for Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network, or Lamput, we pitched an entire series. So everything is something like we enjoy cooking up our own stories. So commercials do come, like in a TV ad, there will be an advertising agency, there will be a script, and you are telling, their story, but you're telling it as best as you can. So that is one aspect. We have fun, whatever fun we can with that also. But this is something which excites us even more. And even in our team, there are like say 4 or 5 people who are very interested in telling their stories. So they are like director material. Anand Babu, who directs Lamput. So with such people around, it's a very exciting thing. And, so the only thing we need to focus on is we need to be alive. We need to earn money to make our films. So the kind of films we want to make, we will make them. We will pitch it to the right clients. They will pay for it. And we get to do what we want to do. So that is so far, the 21 years, the journey so far. Over the years, primarily it has been our IP that's been, funding us. And I'm hoping that with this market, if there is a sale for Return of the Jungle. So because this is our debut feature-length film. We've never made a feature film. And it's only now that we learn. I'm sure, Ashish, you also would agree that there may be so many things that when we see in the film today, we know that, okay, some things we could have done better. But that learning happens only after you've made the film. So I'm sure. So now, like we were discussing earlier, my focus is I need to sell this film.
When was this seed of Return of the Jungle first took its shape?
See, I've been thinking over it even when I was a student at NID. Say, at the end, the final year, you're supposed to write a colloquium paper. So it may not have been in the form of Return of the Jungle, but the idea to tell our own stories, especially mythology, folk tales, like I have grown up on them. I'm sure we all have grown up on that. But I've been very, very influenced by those, whether your family members told you stories or you saw it in some drama or you saw it in films or you read it in comics. Like I am a very big Amar Chitrakatha, kid. So a lot of my mythology has come from Amar Chitrakatha. at least basics, the basic excitement towards your mythology or your folklore. So whether it was Jataka tales or whether it is Hitopadesha or whether it's Panchatantra, so many, and then there are so many regional folk tales. So all these things, the story, the way those stories were made, it is not just entertainment. It is not just audio visual fun. Like nowadays, a lot of, let's say 90% of the films that at least I see, I just view them as a showreel. It's an audio visual showreel. And after I'm out of the theater, the film is not inside me at all. I don't carry the film with me. So there needs to be something, I feel, inspiring for my audience to take home. So Return of the Jungle, I think, comes from there. It's a mix of a lot of things. A lot of my own experiences and a lot of my own wish list and whatever learning, we may have got making films, telling stories. So finally what, I'm trying to entertain you or engage you. And I'm hoping that I can also inspire you a little in the process. So that is the intention. And our way of doing it is through a film. We are storytellers. We are trying to engage our audience in a positive manner. So I think, Return of the Jungle is basically like a box that contains all our wish list. Whatever we wanted to do, we are trying to do it in that. And we are trying to do it to the best of our capabilities. And like I said, we are learning.
अब मैं तुम्हें एक सीक्रेट बात बताता हूँ। जो बाहर से दिखता है वो हमेशा सच नहीं होता, पर अगर आप अंदर से स्ट्रांग हो तो बाहर से जो चाहो बन सकते हो।
This is for length story of a feature film. It has elements of a Bollywood stylization, like Rahul Malhotra, the way he walks onto the wherever. So all those have those such elements of a feature film, a Bollywood hit film probably. And there are stories within, like like you said, like mythology, and there are many such elements which keeps us engaged, as well as it's very impressive the way it is done as well. So that way, it's really worth. It should go to worldwide and have more appreciation. So talking about Vaibhav, how big is the team now?
We are around 20 people. That's the core team. And over the last so many years, I think this team has remained constant. Many of us, our teammates, they have been with us for 15 years now, 16 years. So they are the ones who ensured that the film happened. So even though it's a small team, if they are not motivated, it's not possible to pull off something like this. Especially when they are making their own money. We are all investing our own funds into doing this. So the team is like very, very critical, and their investment or their motivation into the film is very critical. So it's a core team of so still a very small team. So 17 to 20 is the core team.
An animator has to understand the framing angles, or even the music, how things have to go, the pace and all those things. So even more than a live action filmmaker who understands things, an animator does more. So talking about that, could you talk about the life of an animator?
Of an animator, I feel they just have, like, we all have those filters. We all see the same world, but we take in different things. So I think animation people have very unique filters, which you see the world very differently, or you like certain things and you leave out certain things, and you express them in a very unique manner. So I guess that's the reason why this medium attracts us, because it gives us the freedom to express ourselves however we want. It's a beautiful combination of art. So whether it's sculpture, whether it's painting, whether it is mixed media, whether it's photography and technology. So and all aspects of whether it is performing arts, visual arts, whether it's dance, whether it's music, whether it's sound design, whether it's theater, you need all those qualities. You need to be the carpenter, you need to be the tailor, you need to be the hairdresser. So all those things, the more interested you are in every aspect in life, the more rich your own thinking becomes. So I think life of animator is at the end, the moral of it is that the person has to be very truthful in his or her expression in a film. We should not cheat over there, because then you don't have your uniqueness. Your uniqueness has to come out very truthfully. So I guess whether it's an animation filmmaker or live action filmmaker or any person, that in the expression there needs to be a truthfulness, that this is the story. Why does it excite me? That excitement should come out very truthfully in the finished product. So a lot of the time, as a director or as a producer, we ensure that excitement does not get diluted. That flavor has to continue, because in our case, the production itself has taken so many years, and over a long course of time, you need to ensure that that basic energy remains the same till the end. At the end, if you're composing the background score or the music or certain sound design, at every step, that little vision keeps coming alive, step by step. So as a filmmaker, as a storyteller, you just have to ensure that you nurture that flavor, and you don't lose that. So that, I feel, is the most important task.
I know a couple of people who in their early 20s who had started animation, and in their early 40s they gave up kind of, or probably they decided to switch on to, or they decided to retire. And they might have worked in some of the very good films internationally, and then they decided to kind of retire and do something that of what they probably in your case, when you are doing a film of your interest, your story, your material, everything is within you, so you have a better control. The other one, probably when it is outsourced and then it's you have to work from lateness. I mean I'm just thinking
I feel each person has his or her own excitement towards their work. We all have our own reasons. Why are we doing it? Or how deeply do you like what you're doing? That is very important. So there are people who may be doing outsourced work, who may not, everybody may not be a director or a producer or a storyteller, but they can still tell their little stories through their contribution. Like, say, for example, the people who do the model making in our team also, or in lighting. We all interact as a team and discuss the story at every stage. Right from every decision is discussed with everybody. So at the end of the day, whether I'm drawing a storyboard or whether I'm lighting a scene or I'm texturing or creating a fur of some character or whatever role I'm playing, or the sound designer or the music composer, as long as they are absorbed in the story, I think that's a larger excitement. And then comes the craft that you specialize in. The story, but you will contribute to it through your craft. So if I have to build a model, I will understand the model better because I know this character has to do this role in the film. So I think everybody's connection with their work will be very different. So if someone decides to not continue, I'm sure they may have lost that love for the work, or something else they must have found a new love. They may be thinking that something else interests them, or they may just be wanting a break. Sometimes I also feel that I don't want to do this for some time, or I just want a break. I want to do some other project. So for us, thankfully, our own work is our break. So we are in a vacation all our life, because we've chosen something which we like doing so much. And once this film is done, there are so many other things in your head that, I used to tell myself during COVID and all that we cannot die because we've not yet finished these films. So there are so many more things to do. So this film is just the first film. There are 2 more feature films, and Return of the Jungle itself is a larger property. Then Anand Babu has his property, which is Kuttan, the medicine boy, which again at Annecy it had won for the best pitch. There are others in the studio who have very interesting short films that they want to make. So there are so many things to do. both your own films and as films that you want to. So you need to find a way to collectively make it succeed. So when there is so much exciting you, then you can't, you don't want a break, because this is done now, that is left. So there's still so much work to do.
Probably I'm putting a lot of negativity in this, but then there is this question as in, one project takes like 5, 6, 7 years to complete, and once you start, because the idea was there since long, but then once you start the project, it's taking that long, and in between the technology changes, many of the approaches change, people's appreciation level change, and the audience, so-called audience, even the kids now, they are in a different world. So how will this impact, your storytelling or the way you construct? Are things happening, updates happening in the process, or how is it?
Firstly, on the storytelling or on the soul of the film, as for me, my first audience is myself. I'm not thinking whether the kid will like it or not. I don't know. I'll be wrong always. Some kids may like it, some may not like it. So I need to impress myself first. If I'm excited, because my starting point was that. Why would I quit my job? Why would I do all these silly things? Because we are excited and madly in love with something and we want to do it. So my first thing is I have to fulfill my wish list. And if I am proud of it, only then I will share it with you. And then I'll hope that you may also like it. So that is all that I can do with every work of ours. And as you make films, you develop a little gut feel that, okay, if I'm liking it, I do a small test run in my head that, okay, maybe even audience will like it. And I will also understand that, okay, this is an idea which I like, but maybe this audience may not like it. This audience may like it. So I'm aware that, you cannot please everybody. But first of all, you have to please yourself. So from that point of view, as long as even if many years have passed, if you're still excited, like I said, the job is not done, and there is a dissatisfaction inside that, damn, you have to finish it, and it's still not done. What are you doing? You're not done anything. You have not achieved this. So that keeps you going. So whether so many years happen, you don't think. Okay, you may see that, okay, audience trends are changing, but if you are genuinely liking that product, then you know that whenever this product comes out, I will still like it. This is the product that I wanted to make. So let me first make it. First let me focus only on that part. If I think of so many other aspects, I may be wrong or I may screw up what I'm doing. So because I got into this project with a very correct intention, let me finish that project before abandoning it. You have to abandon a film at some point. You keep saying you want to do this, you want to do this, but there is some place where you say that, forget it, now I don't want to touch the film, it's done, next film. So that is from a creative point of view. From a technological point of view also, you are very correct, because especially in our film, our film is made in a digital 3D software. So it's a very a particular, like say we use Maya, Autodesk Maya. So when the production is going on for so many years, the versions of the software change. We cannot upgrade because our pipeline is set to a certain version. And if you change that, like we did upgrade once in those so many years, and it was a very big pain because some bugs will come, certain files will not open. So it's a bigger mess. So again, kudos to the teammates that they have worked with a lot of primitive tools on this film. Again, for me, like the tool does not matter beyond a point. Like say when you are struggling, yes, you have to crack some tool to find a creative solution. But at the end, I'm reacting to the visual that it's generating. If I like the visual, fine. Or if I don't like it, we will figure out a way to somehow make it happen. If not this tool, some other tool. But as long as there was a lot of struggle, a lot of frustration initially, because technologically also, we also were unaware. As a studio, we've never done much of 3D animation. We were traditionally, the paper and pencil 2D animation, clay animation, stop motion. So we, in fact, our team, we taught ourselves digital 3D, and we were curious to try this film in digital 3D because we had multiple stories. It was a larger property even then earlier. So we thought if we make it in 3D, we have a library of characters. So we can reuse them. So that was my logic initially when we started. But with every exciting idea, there will be pros and cons. So there were a lot of frustrating times, no doubt. But again, like if you are liking it, then you have to take it through till the end.
That's a very good reasoning as in why, especially for projects that are lasting this long and in between the pandemic hit, which is like where everything is like a standstill. When I was talking to a few of the theater people, like they can't perform. Like it's very shocking. In fact, if you look back, like many things happen in between. Sorry. What are the new projects that are exciting? Yeah.
New projects, actually, frankly, we are slightly jobless right now. Okay, so we finished a lot of the earlier projects. We have some free time. We are creating a lot of marketing material for the film right now. So for me, the new project is to sell this film. That is our biggest, because we are at a very crucial junction where we've created something that was very challenging, very big for us as a small team. So half the work is done, as in we've made the film. Now ensuring that it is distributed correctly and ensuring that it makes us the money, that is an even bigger half. So, and that is something we don't have much experience of. So we are learning that. So we want to give it time. So for me, a new project is this, till this challenge is completed, nothing else is big enough. So my focus right now is on the sale of the film and ensuring that a wider audience gets to see it every day. We are getting questions of when is it releasing? When is it releasing? I have no answer, because so many discussions are going on and very promising discussions are happening. So till we finalize on something, till the sale happens, we can't share the film publicly. So we are sending it to festivals, definitely. Even in India, we've sent it to a couple of festivals. So hopefully audience will be able to view them in the festivals. But we are not doing any public screenings. So our current project is, for me, it is this, sell the film now.
No, in fact, it's very impressive. When you say that you have used some of the primitive tools, it doesn't, it's not even visible that way to the audience. It's very, very impressive the way and storytelling, as I said earlier, like and it has all the elements of a Bollywood thriller, and the kids, like sometimes it's like Tare Zameen Par kind of inspiration in some scenes and the old man communicating to the kids, it's like that kind of so many things which are very very impressive. So I think it will work wonders in the coming weeks, coming months. So
Thank you.
yeah, once again wish you all the very best, and I'm also quite thrilled about this film going for the cans, or wherever it is, like for the market, even though it is like it will be sold that way. So wish you all the very best. Thank you so much for
Thank you,
allowing
Ashish.
us this time.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. The other thing also is we've tied up with the Toons Animation in Trivandrum. So Toons Animation, right? So they will be, in fact, today the market opens at Cannes. And so they will be our officially, our sales agent in Cannes. So because that is not our forte, and they are the rock stars of that game. So and they are very dear friends also. So we've tied up with them, and they'll be helping us do global sales. So that is something I'm looking forward to. Hopefully, in say another 2-3 weeks, we should know if people are showing interest for the product or not. So this is like the acid test, where you take your 20 of tomato to the sabzi mandi, and you see whether the buyer is liking your tomatoes or not, whether it's getting sold or not. So this is the acid test. As audiences, we may say, "Oh, nice film, lovely film," but even buyers should be able to see that potential, and they should be able to give a value for the product. So we will know in 2-3 weeks.
I can imagine the kind of pain that pain in the sense, yeah, of course you enjoy the work, but then the process all through this time frame, that's a huge effort. But the product is very impressive. So, once again,
Thank you. Thank you,
yeah.
Ashish. Hopefully,
Um,
we'll soon, we'll get some partners on board for the release within India. So at Annecy, these 3 weeks, we are going to explore the global sales. Hopefully, I'll share more good news with you soon. All
Definitely,
right.
we'll connect once again once things
Sure,
happen.
sure, sure.
And
Thank you. Thank you so
thank you
much.
once again.
Bye, bye, bye.